Okay, tech fans, so we are back. Officially, we're back now. That's right, back to filming videos. And I spent my week at CES, so this is pretty much my CES roundup of CES 2018. And honestly, the show went absolutely great this year. We made all of our meetings, everything went smooth, had a great time. My foot didn't even bleed, so hey, thumbs up for that. So we started our day off at Zotac on Monday, and Zotac had some pretty cool stuff that they were showing. Now, if you guys know Zotac, they're pretty much famous for making mini PCs, and guess what? That's not changing. They've got many more mini PCs that are coming out this year, a whole lot of different things. And thank you to Chinny and to Boo for having us at the booth. It was very nice. And what's kind of really strange this year is nobody we met with was on the showroom floor. Everybody that we went with was actually in a hotel suite, which made things a lot easier. The Zotac booth was very nice. It had a couple different display areas. One area was strictly for all of the different types of mini PCs. Some were for external video card enclosures. So if you have like a laptop or something older that you really can't game on, one of these external video card things can really improve your gaming experience altogether. It's a box. You can stick a video card in it. Some come with cards, some come without, but you can plug that into any low-end PC and be up in gaming with a 1070 or 1080 video card, and that's pretty cool. Now, another thing the Zotac booth that was really cool is they had a backpack for VR. That's right, a backpack so you could take VR anywhere that you're going. Now, unfortunately, the Vive and the Oculus, either one of them doesn't work very well in the sun. I was thinking this thing would be great for going out in the sun, but you really kind of have to have a darkened room for all the sensors, especially with the Vive. Those sensors don't work very well whatsoever. So we got to go up and play around, using the Vive. Now, this is actually the old school Vive because a brand new Vive Pro is actually coming out, and we'll show you that in a little while because we actually saw that over at Nvidia. But they had a system set up there, and I got to play a couple of games. It was pretty nice. I have to say that even though the Oculus usually makes me sick and makes me want to puke, honestly, when I was playing the Vive, I had a much better experience. I didn't feel like throwing up whatsoever. Zotac's also releasing a brand new line of PCs, kind of like the one from Corsair, because it's an all-in-one computer. Everything's all inside of it. And you guys can see these systems look pretty nice. They're very thin. They don't take up a lot of desktop realty, and they have powerful graphics inside of them to play all your games. Now, the last thing that we saw at the Zotac booth is this brand new monitor. It's like a 38-inch monitor that they're working with, has everything built inside of it and looks really nice. I understand, I think they're partnering up with some people, probably like LG, to make this monitor, but it's going to be really nifty stuff. So this year, Zotac has a lot of stuff rolling out, so be on the lookout for their products, because if you're a Zotac fan, all kinds of things are coming this year. Next up, in the afternoon, we cruised over to my buddy Justin and we saw the Corsair booth. Now, Corsair has a lot of products, you guys know this. Not a whole lot new that's coming out this year, but the booth was really killer. They had spaces for both light. They also had a VR system going on with the HTC Vive, and when I played this one, I almost fell down on my butt because it was like this environment where I'm in the shooting game type thing, and every time I moved, I almost fell over because my prosthesis that I'm wearing to help me walk, they're pretty cool, but as far as just balancing when I'm inside of a VR room and trying to look around, I almost fell on my ass plenty of times, and both Anthony and Nick were both there to help me not fall on my butt. So that was pretty fun in my book, because I was almost falling over, and that just kind of added a dimension to something because I was like, whoa, what the hell is going on here? Now, big things though there are a couple new cases that are going to be coming out from the people over at Corsair, but a wireless keyboard and mouse are the next products that you guys are going to see from them. They're coming out. They'll be out probably at the end of this month, and they're very nice. They're very responsive. There's no lag. We got to play some games in their booth, and everything is very smooth. I'm working on another review with LG and with Hisense on some TV stuff, so you'll actually see these particular parts incorporated into my video because I'm going to use these different parts. Now, all around the Corsair booth, there are all kinds of different products that are there. Like I said, you folks who follow Corsair and fans, you guys know most of these products. There wasn't really a whole lot super duper new there other than a couple of cases in the wireless keyboard and mouse because they did a lot of product launches last year. Now, there's also that new triple RGB radiator and that all-in-one cooling system. We brought that to you guys a few months ago. I don't know, there was some really weird confusion about an NDA, so we had to pull the video, but the H100i RGB has, 3 fans on it. It's 360. It's really crazy. So if you're looking for something that's going to totally cool your system and has a lot of girth to it, this is a product you guys are seriously going to want to check out. Before you guys actually see this video, you guys will see the video that I posted on that product. So I'll have the link down below. So if you guys want to check out the unboxing and see exactly what that product is, you guys can see. But overall, the booth was very, very nice. The people were friendly, and it was just a great experience overall. And that's pretty much all that we did on our very first day at CES. We just stuck to those, 2 meetings and held to it. The floor is just huge, and I don't really want to risk ruining or hurting my feet any more whatsoever than they are. I had like a cut in the back of it, and it was bleeding really bad, and I just decided, you know what? Let's just skip the floor. And honestly, I'm kind of glad that we did, because there wasn't really any companies out there on the floor at all. There were like 2. It was like Inwin and one other company, and everybody else was in hotels, so I'm kind of glad I didn't walk the showroom floor anyways. Now, on Tuesday morning, Tuesday is where things for me, I think, got really exciting, because we got to go first thing in the morning to Nvidia. Now, Nvidia had some really killer stuff at their hotel suite. I just got to tell you, first of all, 65-inch G-Sync 120 hertz monitor that also has everything that's in the Shield built inside of it. So if you like watching movies, all your programs, it has Amazon Prime, it has all that stuff that you want, everything that you want for watching movies is actually built into it. So even though it doesn't actually have a TV tuner in it, who really needs a TV tuner at this time? It's got HDR. This thing is actually incredible. We got to play a lot of different games on it and watch different TV programs and streaming, and I gotta say that Nvidia has one killer frickin' product on their hands. I cannot wait to get my hands on a review sample of this, because it is crazy. I've always wanted to have a TV in my living room that I could play games on. And honestly, I've been seriously disappointed. We saw the brand new TV that I got from LG. It wasn't a TN panel, it was IPS panel, so it was a little bit slower of a panel. Like, it wasn't quite fast enough, didn't have any G-Sync, no FreeSync, nothing like that. So honestly, even though some of these TVs that are coming out can game, they're not geared for gaming whatsoever. And let's just face it, we all know this. But this product from Nvidia is badass, and it's going to be made by Asus, Acer, and a few other companies. So it's basically a 65-inch giant monitor that features G-Sync, HDR, just everything that you'd want in a killer performance monitor for doing your gaming on. And best of all the colors and everything on it are super freaking incredible. No, honestly, they're really, really incredible. When you guys get to see this in person at a store and it finally gets there, you're gonna be like, holy shit. And if Nvidia can get this to the market in like the $200, not $200 range, slap, in the $2,000 range, I would definitely be recommending that to all of you guys to buy, because it's just incredible. And if you want a game and you want a game on a big screen, and they're actually calling this the big format monitor, like, BFG, which usually stands for big frickin' gun, but now it's the big frickin' G-Sync monitor, and it is just incredible. Now, there's also something else coming out from Nvidia that is simply amazing. Before, you could play some of your games on the cloud and everything, but you could only kind of really do it on the Mac. They had a lot of Mac stuff for doing that, but now they've moved over to a lot to the PC, and you can take a $200 laptop, I'm not even joking whatsoever, a $200 laptop, install GeForce Now on that laptop, and you'll be able to stream your games at 60 frames per second from the cloud. I actually saw a laptop that was $200 playing all of their games very, very smooth. Now, the only caveat, however, to that laptop, I have to say, is the screen. But we moved across the room and we were checking out another laptop, which is LG, which is a $400 laptop, and it was absolutely awesome. So you can take a $400 laptop with a nice screen and everything and play all of your games all from a cloud through GeForce Now, and that's just simply badass. So if you've ever been wondering about, playing that or getting into it, you should definitely check it out now, especially if you have a lower end laptop, but you still want to get those nice frame rates and nice graphics. We compared it to like a lower end laptop, and then we compared it to one of the $400 laptops, and then we actually compared to a laptop that had no GeForce Now in it whatsoever, and the game was literally getting on the same laptop, okay, 2 frames per second versus 60 frames per second, all from using GeForce Now. And that's just simply incredible stuff. They also have some new technology out for laptops, which means that all laptops now will give you an ultimate gaming experience. They actually, have a standard now where if you don't meet this standard of the laptop, you won't be able to actually use, the GeForce, you won't be able to use the G-Sync, all that stuff won't be included, because if you don't follow the procedures for this new technology, you're not going to be able to make the laptop. That's really cool. Now, another interesting thing is this thing called Freestyle. Nvidia Freestyle. So if you guys out there, you guys are familiar with Nvidia, you guys know all about using Ansel, taking pictures and all this stuff, but check this out. Freestyle allows you to actually go inside the game and change all kinds of different things at the base level and make different color changes, different hue changes. You can literally change the way the game looks as far as visually and color goes to your preference. So if you're playing a game and you're like, oh boy, look, it looks kind of cool, but I want to make this shit even crazier. Well, with Freestyle, you can absolutely 100% do that. It'll be available for a download, so you can grab the download and try it on your own system, but I think you'll be pretty impressed, especially when you're playing some of those Dungeon and Dragon type games. I mean, sometimes making it all purple and crazy and blue, or just making it all orange, actually looks really cool. And if you're a fan of Ansel and you like taking a lot of pictures and doing this is a really, really nice tool that I think you're gonna be interested to check out when it gets here. And while we're on the topic of Ansel, one of the very last things that we saw at Nvidia was there's going to be an update to Ansel 2. So making that, that environment for taking your shots and doing all that is never going to be better. Honestly, Nvidia had a lot of cool stuff at their booth, and it was the most impressive tour that I took of the entire show. For some reason, I had a meeting with Gigabyte scheduled, but they sent out a media blast, like basically canceling all of their meetings. So I was kind of like freaked out, a little mad about that. But when I got over to the booth in the morning, I found out that that was a mistake, and I still got to talk to everybody over there. And I got to see my old friend Sherry Lee. We got to talk to Matt, and these guys had a lot of different rooms set up in their booth. In fact, this was probably the largest of one of the displays that I saw in any of the hotels. It was very, very nicely done. All around their entire suite is just a whole bunch of killer products. Like, you start off, you come in, there's one room that's kind of like dedicated to office space, another room that's dedicated to video, another room that's dedicated to like just doing gaming. They also had 2 different virtual reality race games, and I had a hell of a lot of fun playing these games because you're playing them and you're literally just bouncing around in this VR car, and it was just an incredible sensation. If I had the money and I could be a real spoiled biatch, I would definitely have one of those in my living room as my racing thing. I mean, honestly, I love those things. Out of all the gaming experiences there are, I have to say I love racing games. I always have, and being able to sit in a virtual reality like simulated car and drive and race was just a hell of a lot of fun. I played it and played it and played it until I started getting a little bit dizzy, because this was not the latest Vive. This was actually the Oculus, and I started to feel a little bit wheezy, but overall it was a really great experience. Now, these guys also shared a booth with a company called Enermax. This company makes a lot of different products. They make cases, they make coolers, they make all kinds of crazy stuff. And in fact, this year, they said they're going to be bringing a lot of new air coolers to the market. A lot of people complain about AIOs breaking down, they're a pain in the butt. So these guys are going backwards a little bit and making more high quality air cooling products, which will be really cool. They also have a lot of different stuff for RGB, and just all in all, they have a lot of nice stuff that's coming out in 2018. We spoke with a guy named Joe. He was really cool. We got to check out this one case, and the case actually has a clear front panel. A lot of times when we build cases, Anthony will tell me, dude, why are we using these expensive RGB fans in the front of the case when you can't even see them at all? With this new Enermax case, you can see all of your RGB fans. They actually have cool lights running up the front, and overall, it's just a very, very nice case. I have one coming in-house for review, so we'll build a system on that and give you guys a full case review. But overall, these guys had some pretty nice products. I mean, they're not a giant company. They're not like Gigabyte or Asus or anything like that, so they're not going to have that many difference in variations of products. But if you're looking for cooling stuff, looking for stuff for like building your systems, they have a lot of different stuff that you guys should definitely check out. After we got to see all the cool things at the Nvidia booth, just 2 floors up was Asus. Now I know you guys all know this company. Now we met with Gary and Jeff. Jeff is from the Tech Report. Gary has a long history in the industry as a writer and just all kinds of different stuff. So both these guys, not only in their position or marketing, have also been writers and know what it's like to be on the PR side of things. Now inside of the Asus booth, they had a lot of different products that are going to be coming out. I didn't really get to see every single solitary thing inside of the room, but they did have one thing that overall completely blew my mind. So check this out. We all like surround gaming with 3 monitors, but one of the biggest things that's been a caveat to that is that you have the bezel on the monitor, and the bezel always takes a little bit of space. So when you're hooking those 3 monitors, there's always this little tiny space that has absolutely nothing in it. Well, using light refraction technology, they've been able to develop a product that actually makes the monitor completely seamless. That's right. So you'll get a completely seamless gaming experience through this monitor setup, and you can set it up a couple of different ways. One thing, unfortunately, though, is if it's not set up completely right, it doesn't function. But when it does function, you'll be looking at it going, wow, how's it doing that? Because with the light refraction, you can actually see the entire screen as one solid screen. And another big thing is these guys are making that BFG monitor that I was telling you about for the people over at Nvidia. So we got to check out that monitor inside of their suite as well. I just can't tell you guys how blown away I am by this technology. Just overall, it's really incredible. We were able to talk to the guys and straighten everything out. So this year, you're going to see a lot of different stuff from Asus here at Tech of Tomorrow. We'll be working together closely with Gary and get all those nice products in here and bring them to the market. The booth overall, the suite, was nice. It had a lot of stuff out, but it seems like a lot of the products that were actually shown have actually already been released. There was only a very few things that were really brand new, and those products will all be coming to us. So as the year keeps going round and round and round, we'll bring this stuff to you guys so you can see all kinds of killer stuff from them. I wish I could have got a little bit better coverage of some of these suites. Unfortunately though, this time around, the budget didn't allow for us to carry a cameraman and all that stuff for the crew, so I just went around with my cell phone taking different pictures of all the different things. But I think overall, you guys get a good idea of what's going on at the show. Now, the very last meeting I had at the show was with NZXT and with Vertagear. Now for Vertagear, you guys all know that company. They're the chair that we just brought you that was the chair for big guys, and they introduced us to some really even better chairs in their suite. They had a chair that was so smooth and comfortable that it blew my mind. And we started asking about the wheels, and even the wheels on this chair are incredible. They're $120 a piece just for the wheels. That's right, I said it. $120 per wheel, but it literally slided across the carpet like glass, and they're just very comfortable. The PL6000 series, that means Plus series, they're also going to have some new variations on those. And like I said before, if you're a company out there and you're having a gaming team or anything like that, the people at Vertagear are really cool. They can custom make a chair to your spec. So if you want a chair that totally matches, your gaming team, your office, these guys are the guys to contact to do it because they just do a really great job. Now, NZXT, the biggest products that they have are brand new motherboards. That's right, motherboards from a case company. The motherboards themselves are made by ECS. You guys who are PC diehards and old school, you know who ECS is. They're actually a giant company overseas. Just over here, we all know the competition became, very stiff between MSI, Gigabyte, Asus, and the rest of the companies kind of just like faded off to the market. ASRock's still kind of holding their own, but many of the companies that we saw back in the day are completely defunct. Now, one thing cool about these motherboards, however, is they're based on Intel technology, and they come in a couple different colors, but what's really neat is that they're going to have accessories that can change the color of the board to totally make your build. So if you have a green build, you'll be able to change out a couple different parts on the board, the heat sinks, and make them match your product. So no matter what color your build is going to be, they're going to be able to have a motherboard accent that'll fit your build. So it just looks totally nice inside the case. Now, a lot of people complain about there's not enough USB ports, there's not enough this, there's not enough that. Well, really, NZXT took a serious look at this and got together with ECS, and this board has plenty of everything. Lots of USB 3, lots of headers, everything that you could pretty much want in a gaming motherboard, they analyzed and put on this board. So when they come to market, which is in about 2 weeks, we're going to get our hands on one. Thanks a lot for seeing you there, Wes. It was nice. Thanks, Shan, for taking us to the booth. We totally appreciate your guys' time. So that's what we did at CES this year. I just went to meetings. I had fun. It was very relaxing. I didn't get stressed out at all. Overall, probably one of the most successful and happy trips I've had going to CES in years. So I have to say, CES 2018, thumbs up. Thank you very much to Brian and Brian. I appreciate you guys from Nvidia. Thank you very much to Chinny and Taboo. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to Justin. Just honestly, thanks to all of those people that made us feel so welcome and showed off their products at this year's CES. I'm Elric. You guys have been watching Tech and Tomorrow. Next week, we start back up to our normal video series, so check us out here online.